Cinderella. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom surrounded by green hills and bright skies, there lived a sweet and gentle girl named Cinderella. After her mother passed away, her father married a proud and selfish woman who had two equally cruel daughters. When her father too passed, Cinderella was left alone in the care of her unkind stepmother and stepsisters, who forced her to do all the chores in the house. Day and night, she cleaned the floors, cooked the meals, and lived in the cold, dusty attic, while the others lived in comfort. Though her life was hard, Cinderella never lost her kindness. She spoke softly to the birds, sang as she worked, and dreamed of a life where she would be loved for who she was. The animals became her friends, and her heart stayed pure. One morning, a royal messenger arrived in the village with exciting news. The king was hosting a grand ball at the palace. His son, the prince, would choose a bride. Every maiden in the land was invited. Cinderella's eyes lit up with hope. She rushed to her stepmother, asking if she could go. Laughing cruelly, her stepmother said yes, only if she finished all her chores and found something suitable to wear. It was a trick. While her stepsisters prepared with fancy gowns and loud gossip, Cinderella stitched an old dress of her mother's, adding lace and beads with love. But when she came downstairs, her stepsisters tore it apart in jealousy. Heartbroken, Cinderella ran to the garden and cried beside a tree planted by her mother long ago. Suddenly, a soft light shimmered through the leaves. From it appeared a kind and glowing woman, her fairy godmother. Wiping Cinderella's tears, she smiled warmly and said, "You shall go to the ball, my dear." With a gentle wave of her wand, a pumpkin turned into a golden carriage, mice into white horses, and her torn dress into a stunning gown made of silver and starlight. At her feet, delicate glass slippers appeared. "Go and enjoy the night," the fairy godmother whispered. "But remember, the magic fades at midnight." With a grateful heart, Cinderella rode to the palace. The moment she entered, the room fell silent. The prince, captivated by her grace, walked straight to her and asked for a dance. They twirled across the marble floors, laughing, speaking like old friends. Time melted around them. She felt seen, truly, for the first time in her life. But as the clock struck midnight, the spell began to break. Cinderella gasped and ran, leaving behind only one glass slipper on the grand staircase. Before the prince could catch her, she vanished into the night. The next day, the prince searched the kingdom for the girl who had stolen his heart. With the glass slipper in hand, his men visited every home. Many tried, none fit. When they arrived at Cinderella's house, her stepsisters pushed forward, struggling to squeeze their feet in. Cinderella, standing quietly in the corner, asked if she may try. Her stepmother scoffed, but the prince's man allowed it. The slipper slid on her foot like it was made for her, because it was. Cinderella took the second slipper from her pocket and smiled. The prince, who had come with his men, recognized her instantly. Joy filled his face. With forgiveness in her heart and dreams finally real, Cinderella stepped into a new life. She married the prince, not as a queen of beauty, but as a woman of kindness and courage. The palace filled with music, light, and laughter. And from that day on, the girl who once swept ashes and soot ruled with wisdom and love. And they lived, as all true hearts do, happily ever after.